son Matthew did not look like a winner. He was rather uncoordinated and wore braces from the age of 13 until the day that he died. However, in his all too brief life, he proved that he was a winner. On October 6th, 1998, my son tried to show the world that he could win again. On October 12th, 1998, my firstborn son and my hero lost. On October 12th, 1998, my firstborn son, my hero, died 50 days before his 22nd birthday. I keep wondering the same thing I did when I first saw him in the hospital. What would he have become? How could he have changed his piece of the world to make it better? Matt officially died in a hospital in Fort Collins, Colorado. He actually died on the outskirts of Laramie, tied to a fence. You, Mr. McKinney, with your friend, Mr. Henderson, left him out there by himself. But he wasn't alone. There were his lifelong friends with him, friends that he had grown up with. You're probably wondering who these friends were. First, he had the beautiful night sky and the same stars and moon that we used to see together through a telescope. Then, he had the daylight and the sun to shine on him. And through it all, he was breathing in the scent of pine trees and the snowy range. He heard the wind, the ever-present Wyoming wind, for the last time. He had one more friend with him. He had God. And I feel better knowing that he wasn't alone. Matt's beating, hospitalization, and funeral focused worldwide attention on hate. Good is coming out of evil. People have said enough is enough. I miss my son. I am so proud to be able to say that he was my son. Judy has been quoted as being against the death penalty. It has been stated that Matt was against the death penalty. Both of these statements are false. Matt believed that there were crimes and incidents that justified the death penalty. I, too, believe in the death penalty. I would like nothing more than to see you die, Mr. McKinney. However, this is the time to begin the healing process, to show mercy to someone who refused to show any mercy. Mr. McKinney, I'm going to grant you life as hard as it is for me to do so. Because of Matthew. Every time you celebrate Christmas, a birthday, the 4th of July, remember that Matthew isn't. Every time that you wake up in your jail cell, remember that you had the opportunity and the ability to stop your actions that night. You robbed me of something very precious, and I will never forgive you for that. Mr. McKinney, I give you life in memory of one who no longer lives. May you have a long life, and may you thank Matthew every day for it.
me bawling.
This is all we've lived and breathed for a year, daily. And now it's finally over.
Maybe now we can just move on and stop being stuck, you know?
It just hit me today, the minute I left the courthouse, why God wanted me to find him. And that's so that he didn't have to die alone. Think about it. If I hadn't have, come along, they wouldn't have found him for another couple weeks at least. So it does make me feel kind of good that he didn't have to die alone.
I'm just glad it's over. I really am. Testifying in that trial was one of the hardest things I've ever done. And don't get me wrong, I love the stage, I really do, I love it, but it's tricky because what you have is lawyers questioning you from this angle, but all your answers need to be funneling this way to the jury. So what you need to do then is establish a funneling system, and that's hard for me because I'm a natural conversationalist. So your first instinct is to look somebody in the eye when they ask you a question, but that's tricky to do when you have to change position, scoot over, in effect, funnel over to where the jury is, but I was able to do that several times.
On our last trip to Laramie, I had the pleasure of seeing Jedediah Schultz play Pride in Angels in America. For the longest time, I didn't associate with the Matthew Shepard case. It just didn't seem real. It seemed way too blown out of proportion. But now, I don't know, I just feel bad for all the stuff I said in those interviews, for the person I used to be. I just hate myself for saying that I disagree with homosexuality. How could I let any of that stuff make me think that you were different from me?
This is Romaine Patterson.
Well, a year ago, I wanted to be a rock star. Seriously, that was my goal, and that's really changed in the way that I've really realized, my role in taking my part. So now instead of going to school for music, I'm going to go for communications and political science, because I have a career in political activism. Actually, I'm being honored in Washington, D.C. from the Anti-Defamation League, and whenever I think of the Angels or any of the speaking that I've done, Matthew Mac's like guiding this little path for me to walk down with his light. And whenever we get to a door, he just opens it and he's like, okay, next step. And if I get to be a rock star on the side, okay.
This is Joey Sloan.
Change is not an easy thing. And I don't think a lot of people are up to it here. But they got what they wanted. Those two boys got what they deserved. Justice has been served. The OK Corral. We shot down the villains. We sent the prostitutes on the train, and the town's cleaned up. And we don't have to talk about it anymore. It's been a year since Matthew Shepard died, and they haven't passed shit in Wyoming. No one anywhere, any state, any level, no one anywhere has passed any anti-discrimination laws, hate crime legislation, nothing. So what's come out of it? What's come out of it that's concrete or lasting?
We all said we would meet again, one last time at the fence.
I've been up there inside my limousine, okay? And I remember to myself, the night Matt and I drove around together, he said to me, Laramie sparkles from here, doesn't it? And where he was up there, you sit exactly where he was up there. Laramie sparkles from there. With a low-lying cloud, it's the blue lights. It's bouncing off the clouds from the airport, and it goes right over the whole city. It blows you away. And that was right there, in that spot. And I can just picture in his eyes, I can just picture what he was seeing. The last thing he saw on this earth was a sparkling light.
We've spent the last 2 days packing up a year's worth of materials and saying our goodbyes. We've been to Laramie 6 times and have conducted over 200 interviews. Jedediah cried when he said goodbye.
Marge wished us luck, and when I asked her how she thought Laramie would feel seeing a play about itself, she said,
I think we'd enjoy it. To show it's not the hellhole of the earth would be nice, but that is up to how you portray us. And that in turn is up to how we behave.
As we were getting off the phone, she said to me,
Now take care. I love you, honey.
Doc asked me if I wanted to help ghostwrite a book about the whole event. Galloway offered me, or anybody else, a place to stay if and when we come back to Laramie. She also seemed interested as to whether there would be open auditions for this play.
We left for Denver at 7 in the evening. On our way, I looked back to take one last glimpse of the town.
and I will speak with you. I will trust that if you write a play of this, that you say it right and you say it correct.
And in the distance, I could see the sparkling lights of Laramie, Wyoming.